Hello and welcome back to Crew 42's coverage of the 2025 River City Open presented by Discraft. This is our FPO Feature Card in round 1 at Earl Brewer Park here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. My name is Zach O'Haron on the commentator's mic, and along with me I have Ceci Vollbrecht.
How's everyone doing?
Hopefully everyone's enjoying the round like we are. If you haven't already, please consider liking, subscribing, hit that notification bell. You do not want to miss out when we have future videos come out, whether for this tournament or another future event. Right now, Lindsey and Kylie leading our card at 3 and 4 under. Right now, Kylie getting hot with the putter, especially during the beginning of that front 9. Colleen and Megan having a few struggles, but finally getting on the right track at 1 down as we make the swing over to the back 9. Now, do you think this will be an easier 9 or a harder 9 than the front?
Ooh, the back 9 is a lot more open than the front. We've moved out into the open. The wind is picking up a little bit. I think it plays similar.
Okay. I would argue to say that it plays much harder if the wind is over 10 miles per hour.
Yeah, which today it was, for Brewer, rather quiet with the wind.
Yeah, very mild for Brewer today.
Yeah.
Hole 10 is 254. We see Lindsey leaving this leak out wide right, letting it skip into circle. Nice drive from her. I can't even think of any OB that's actually in play for this hole outside of just finding one on purpose.
Yeah.
So another hole that you really want to get for our ladies. How much distance does this uphill add to the shot?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot more than you think, right?
It says 250, but it is a pump to get up there. Like I'm throwing a distance driver at least, try to get up the hill. And then the wind is also coming up over that hill, big skip. Having to balance that as well.
Sure. And you mentioned this as well, with the wind coming into this pocket, like there's nothing protected from here till 18 through 18.
Yeah.
This whole back 9 is this is it, exposed to the elements. And so you're going to have really good wind reads, and you have to be very consistent and clean if you want to shoot a low score. That's going to leak out left on the putt effort from Kylie. Still in circle, but a putt left remaining. Megan now from distance.
Sits close to the basket. She'll have a tap in. Colleen, can she pick up oh, not quite.
Another one off the front cage for Colleen. Still clean though.
Yep. She's just been so close for a lot of these birdies.
Oh, and Lindsey leaving that one too low. She's disappointed with that effort. Yeah, it feels like Colleen and Megan, even though they're still a few strokes back, I mean, Megan's been, teasing that basket a bunch with the floaty putt she has today, and Colleen's had a few misses off the basket and a couple missed opportunities, but really, if any of them kind of like lock those things in, they can really start to pile on some birdies, but they're going to have to get through this hole first. What makes this hole so tough here on 11?
Our double mando, so we see the tree on the left and the right. You have to go in between them. It's tough. The drop zone is just short of the trees there, and so it's big downhill, and then back up to the basket slightly.
How are the trees oriented in relation to like the swing?
Yeah, that right tree is slightly further back than our left, so you can sort of try to fade through them, but then you also don't want to end up in that bush on the right, which can make getting up and down for the 3 hard.
Lindsey, with experience, decides to lay up in front of the bushes. Megan, this looks like it might be pushing. It's in front of the mando, but there is a line right there, and she's going to come up just short of it. Very fortunate not to break that plane with those new mando rules. Even if you just cross the line, even if you come back in bounds afterwards, it would still be a missed mando. Colleen's going to land right in those bushes you warned everyone about. It's not fun in there.
And Kylie
she's
going to fade.
Needs to swing. Has the power, but unfortunately not the line, as that's going to miss the mando right. She's going to go to the drop zone. How far is that drop zone, would you say? 60 feet?
60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. You can give it a run. I would not expect it to be commonly made.
A few years ago, there were some branches kind of blocking that putt a little bit too, but those got cleaned up, so you do get a free run at it.
Well, Colleen trying to get out of the bushes here.
Unsuccessful as she's unable to progress at all. Now forced to go with a lefty forehand roller to try to pitch around this bush.
Oof. Yeah, that's why you don't want to be in those bushes.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing there. If you try to force the issue, you can find yourself in trouble. Good effort there from Kylie, just over the top of the basket.
Colleen out of the bushes. Give it maybe a little bid. Stays near the basket.
Megan having to stretch.
Still got to get around that mando. Yep.
And that's a tough position to be in. It's hard to get it towards the basket, in an efficient manner without running a big roll away.
Yep. And she was so close to that tree that
it can be dangerous. Tap in for Kylie for bogey after missing the mando. Lindsey getting a stroke on her with the par, playing safe and short of the mandos. I think we'll see more of that in the future as Megan unfortunately trickles out right on that putt.
Colleen double bogey, struggling with that bush and getting out of it. Megan tapping in.
Since 2015, Great Lakes Disc has been supporting players at all levels, from local leagues and events to professional disc golfers on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Visit GreatLakesDisc.com to learn more.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that hole's played as the tournament kind of evolves depending on how scores look, but I imagine we'll see some more people laying up short of the bushes and seeing that punishment.
So.
Yeah. Hole 12, 282, OB on the right side, so you can swing the hyzer, which I think is the appropriate play. However, if for some reason you flip it over and it doesn't come back in time, you're going to progress 20 feet.
Right. But you sort of go up and over this hill, really the backhand hyzer, you get the nice skip towards the basket, so I think it's worth with a little bit of risk to play it out over the OB.
Yeah, I say that it's risky, but I mean, it's a misfire if you're going to stay over it. Like a wrong disc selection or just a complete kind of grip lock in order to stay that far right.
Megan getting it just inside the circle with her drive.
This basket is also blind to the tee, is that correct?
Yep.
So, what do you do to prep your... do this.
Nice shot.
Yeah. How do you gain your bearings? Because, this hole and hole 9 don't have, flags on them, so you know where they're at. What do you do to have you just practiced enough and know your aim point? Or?
Yeah, I sort of know you kind of throw it right up that OB line. If you follow that and, with the disc I'm throwing at least, and know it's stable enough. There's also a nice little tree that you can point out, and there's a...
Gotcha.
It's right behind.
General reference point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the insider knowledge. I'm certain.
Yeah, that little tree on the left there. You can see that one from the tee.
Yeah, you can share that information now the tournament's over. Now your competitors that are from out of town, they didn't know that then, so it's all good to share now. Colleen a little low on her putt. Megan as well off the basket. Kylie with this very short putt, making up for the bogey on the previous hole. Nicely done.
Mm-hmm. A bunch of tap-ins here.
That's going to swing us over to hole 13 now. Hole 13's also been adjusted from last year. 269, still uphill. OB on the right side, very similar to last hole, but what's different?
You're throwing uphill, wind's going the other direction, and then you've got OB on the left as well. All those bushes, if you land in there is OB. So you really got to keep it in the middle and then putt onto this elevated basket.
And the elevated basket, in my opinion, is what really can get people. As Kylie leaves this left, and she is going to find the bush OB short.
Yeah, the elevated basket here, you can go back and forth on it.
Especially if it's windy. It's just...
Yep.
I imagine we've seen it in MPO in years past as well as FPO, just trying to mitigate damage and just laying it under the rock so that you don't have to putt at it. Lindsey gets a weird ground action there. Comes up a little short, but a great line off the tee.
Needs to swing back over. There we go.
We're seeing some ground action here. Previous coverage, we saw Brent, which had grass that was so long you weren't getting any ground action. Talk a little bit about the conditions of the day, how hot it was, the ground. We're seeing some ground action here.
Yeah.
Explain a little bit about what you're seeing.
It was pretty dry, even though we were playing in the morning. It felt like you were getting good ground action, skips. It was warming up throughout the day. There were several comments that we were glad we weren't MPO playing at 3 p.m. We got nice morning rounds for this tournament, and it warmed up throughout the weekend. Oh, She'll have about the same distance for the comeback putt, it looks like.
From one wind to the other, but cashes that one. Great save for Lindsey. Yeah, as a person who had to walk back out for the MPO round, you are correct. You didn't want to be out there then.
There's just so much sun at Brewer, especially on this back nine. There's no shade.
Yeah.
You're just roasting.
Even Megan took a minute, I think it was hole 10, ran out to the parking lot real quick, grabbed her umbrella. Because, any shade is blessed.
Yep.
Hole 14, Ceci, break this down for us. What do you need to do to capitalize on this one?
Really off the tee, you want to land somewhere around where the drone is now in that open area. Avoid the bushes. Don't leave it short. You can get the 3 if you get down to that area, but if you catch an early bush, you're going to have quite a lot of distance left to get to the basket on your second shot.
They removed a bailout zone as well. There's an OB line right the whole way along the fairway. In the past, especially from MPO, we would see people kind of throw over the top and leak it way right and let it swing back eventually, and at worst, you're taking a 3. They've removed that. So if you are going to leave this too far right, you can get punished for OB. And the OB on the left side's been pushed up to where the 15's tee pad is. Which, if you're looking at it from the tee pad, it's where the pine trees end. So if you push far enough off the tee, you're not going to get punished with OB, like in the bushes there.
Right.
But if you go short into 15's kind of tee pad or fairway, oh no,
Oh.
you can find OB. And Lindsey holds onto that one too long, hits the first tree on the right side, but stays in the fairway. Very little advancement, maybe 20 feet. This needs to sit down. Oh, what a good branch.
Yep. Got some good distance. Still in the short grass. Here comes Lindsey. There we go.
Yeah, much better.
That's what you want.
It's also been changed to a par 4 this year. It's kind of that tweener distance. With the OB added, I think it plays as a truer par 4.
Yeah.
So I like that adjustment for the field and for the card. And Megan.
It's tough to get there for a look for 2.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say, we saw Colleen's drive, and it was pretty much ideal landing in that kind of landing zone. Kylie also in a great spot, but just got there with a little more luck involved.
Beautiful upshot, though.
Agreed. Capitalizes on the opportunity, gets herself within bullseye. Lindsey needs to get up and down to stay perfect, to stay clean on her back nine so far, leaving this one short.
Colleen from the pretty ideal landing zone, giving it a little bit even. Could have gone in a little more power.
Yeah, it's
nice.
a little uphill, but there's an OB line on the left side, right, along the rocks?
Yes.
Okay, so couldn't be too aggressive necessarily. Lindsey holds on to that one too long. Another comeback putt for Lindsey.
Oh, no.
And I could see the wind kind of blowing across her shirt there, and that's got to be a bit of a mental juggling gymnastics that you have to do there to have, a tailwind putt one way and a headwind putt the other, or a crosswind one way or whatever, and they can definitely lead to some, uncommitted putts if you're struggling to get that read.
Right.
All right, hole 15. This is in the long gold pad position, 325, but with new OB.
Yeah, the OB changes this one up some. OB on the left side here, we can sort of see the flags. Comes out a bit here. You can't just bail out left anymore.
Yeah.
That was sort of the play. Our basket's situated off to the right, but you really have to throw either a turnover that you're going to make sure comes back or a forehand. There's no bailing out now and taking the easy upshot.
Yeah, there's maybe an 8-foot kind of bulge they put in the OB line. So it's along the long grass here. So you'll see it from the catch angle position. It runs up about 2/3 of the fairway.
Yeah.
And then jets out a little bit as we get closer to the basket. So if you don't get quite committed, doesn't really bail out, you don't get punished necessarily, but they really are preventing people from doing the old play, which is just let it hyzer out left, give yourself a great angle to the basket, and just approach from there kind of blindly, and requiring you to kind of finesse it towards the basket. As we see Colleen give a great effort, maybe circles edge there. We'll see if she has a putt around that bush or not. This needs to sit. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's where it comes out
Yep.
more there. Once you get close to the basket, you've got some more space.
and I think that's a pretty wise decision not to give, another grip lock from Lindsey. And she's just going to pitch out to fairway, nothing to do from there. But I think that's a good design just in general to say a little bit of bulge. So,
Yep.
Kylie shot, which was pretty decent, just trickles of trees, was going to head towards that long grass. Really didn't have any danger because she had enough distance on it.
Yeah, I like the OB edition here. Makes it a little tougher. Because we see Megan stretching out from the rough on the right side. If you end up in there, there's no actual OB, but
Right.
it feels like you're...
If you go in it, it's natural OB.
It can kick a lot of things back out, but if you get in, it's tough.
Having to hug that right side for Kylie, good effort, but just over the top. Colleen backdoor?
Yeah. Oh.
That would have been cool. Just tickles the bush, stays by the basket. Lindsey now. Another
Just right.
Yeah, another putt. Right side, unable to find her line. She might have a contested putt on the return there on the backside.
Nice putt by Megan to get her par. Oh, yeah, Lindsey's. There we go.
Good save on that one. Kylie going back and forth the last few holes. Still par on the back nine here as the OB is coming into play and causing some drama. And we move on to hole 16 where there's a little more OB. This one's a little more manageable, I would say. Left side's a little closer.
Left side's closer.
Yep, on the long grass. The right side is separating holes 16 and 17. So that one is a little harder to reach from.
Yeah, it's more on the edge of 17's fairway
Yeah.
rather than 16's. So definitely prefer to hold it more right, which is nice for the backhand. But this is the one that a lot of our ladies, I think, would like to birdie. It's 290. It is uphill.
I think that's the only reason we didn't see Megan throw a forehand. Because, again, I think the forehand, if you have that power, is the best play because it goes away from the OB and it kind of shapes the hill. It's really, really gradual on this. But, I mean, with it being dry conditions, we're seeing a lot of ground action. Every little bit of assistance to keep it close to the basket helps.
Yep. Kylie putting it out wide.
Ooh, this is low.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We got to the short grass. Got the skip.
It's like we got to the short grass, so maybe we didn't want to.
Right.
It
You
screamed
can
over
see
to
those flags on the other side.
It started coming in quick. Oh no, this is not well thrown as it's going to leak into the OB for Lindsey.
She's approaching from midway up the fairway. Puts it close to the basket. She should have a tap in there. Megan just outside circle. A little bit. No.
She keeps teasing it.
Yep.
She just does. I wonder if that's. We saw her at States. She putts a little firmer than what we're seeing right now. Nice putt from Kylie. I wonder if that's a intentional plan from Megan because of expected wind on this course to make sure she never has a 10, 15 foot comeback putt.
Yeah.
Like every one of these has a chance of going in and 0 of them have a chance of going farther than 4 feet. I wonder if that's intentional or not.
I don't know.
Hole 17, in Grand Rapids, I don't think there's a better final 2
I would
holes.
say 17, 18. We've got some tricky holes now.
Oh, yeah. Break it down for us.
17, we're throwing from way back on the tee pad. You can put it out over the road, which is OB, and then you have a full second shot. And you've got this line of trees going down the middle of the fairway that really forces you to pick either the forehand, the backhand. It's a tricky shot off the tee. If you go forehand and it doesn't come back in bounds, you're advancing only 10 feet.
Yeah, very, very little.
And if you try to go the turnover and it fades back out, you can also still find the road.
Mm-hmm. This is looking great from Colleen. I would even argue to say that the right side field used to be the bailout before they added OB, so you just kind of chuck it off to the right, try to get yourself as much distance as you can. You can't do that because of the OB on the right as well, as Kylie stays inbounds after the tree kick there. But on top of that, I don't think you want to be on the right side. I think it's a tougher angle into the green.
I think it depends. There's a lane there where if you can put it down and swing it.
I'd just rather do this, what Megan's doing right now. I mean, that's ideal, right?
Yeah, that's a great spot to be. That's a great spot to be.
Not a lot of people have that forehand, though.
I was going to say, but the forehand, and depending on your nerves and how much you want to trust that skip off the road.
Yeah, I think like Lindsey's bag design and skill set is really good for this this side. She's going to opt still to take the right side. And I think that if you're playing it for par, the right side's fine. If you're trying to go for birdie, though, and you're trying to go backhand, like that tree we see on the right side, it blocks. It pinches up there with the wood line a little bit.
Yep.
And makes it a little tougher. So Megan has a huge advantage on this hole if she can stay clean on the next approach. And Kylie has too much stability on this shot. It's going to leak out of bounds.
And that's the scary part about going down the left side
Yeah.
for the second shot, is that you bring that OB into play a lot more. Whereas here, I like this play from Colleen. Throw something fairly stable, let it fade in, give yourself a long putter from there.
Yeah. Just give yourself a opportunity at 3. There is OB as well, just right of the basket here. So, I mean, Megan's going to want to try to mitigate any kind of left to right big skip. And this looks great. Just inside
Nice
the grass.
shot.
Yeah, a little short, but this, I mean, that's the safest
Yep.
2 shots you could do on this hole.
Kylie from where she went OB. Sending it a little long.
There's OB right there.
Yeah.
That's a little close. Lindsey just pitching around the right side, close enough to make this zone shot pretty standard. Just right there in the bullseye. Colleen puts it on the initial line, but it hyzers out left.
Stays close to the basket again.
Game plan executed.
Kylie with a putt from deep. Oh,
Off the basket, a little bit of a roll, but not too far inside, I would say 15 feet. Oh, yeah, she's much
Yeah.
closer than that. Colleen with a good par save. Yeah, I mean, 17, 18. 17, I think, is the easiest of the two,
yes.
in my opinion. It has bigger blow-up potential than 18, in my opinion, as well. I think there's really, like, 2 major OB plays on 18. But 17, you can go BUB a lot of times.
Yes.
Hole 18. Let's break this one down. There's a lot going on here, Ceci. What's the plan off the tee and the approach?
Yeah, we've got OB on the right side. We've got these bushes in the middle that are OB. Off the tee, if we can land somewhere in here, a little bit near that first island of OB. Second shot, it's going to depend where you land a lot.
Sure.
There's some trees that can get in your way. But if you can go down the middle, get a big hyzer towards the basket. But it is a par 5, so you can break it down into smaller sections if you'd like.
Yeah, I think that if you have, I would imagine we see Kylie go for the big shot off the tee, which I think is just clearing the first bush. If you don't have that kind of power or comfortable with that power, I think that you can lay up to the first bush and then try to beat the second bush off your second throw.
Yep.
That looks like what Megan's doing here. Oh, no, she's pushing that a little farther. But like prime position.
I would say that's a fairly common spot, I think. And the hard part is controlling it. You don't want to flip to go right side OB. You don't want to fade or skip left into that bush.
Sit down.
Lindsey,
Yep,
okay,
cool.
just short of the OB bush.
Here's Kylie. Gives it lots of space. This has got an angle on it, though. It needs to sit. Yeah, and that's going to trickle into the first OB. So that's the first danger here. That OB is in everyone's way.
Yes.
Then the second one is this bush. The second bush here is we see Colleen. This is a great move if it gets past it.
Yep.
Trickles the tree and gets past. So that's a great second shot. Past the bush is ideal landing zone. You have a ton of space to work with. And then you just have to avoid the narrowing OB as it approaches the basket.
Every shot is kind of scary on this hole.
Yeah.
There's danger on all of them.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference in terms of punishment for this hole and the previous hole is that on 17, there's so many opportunities for you to progress 0 feet.
Yeah.
Like that forehand is the play, and as you mentioned previously, if you stay OB, you just don't go anywhere. While on this hole, if you went OB to the first island, OB to the second island, OB to the basket. You still progressed
Distance-wise, pretty
200,
well.
250 feet every single time, and you can still get, a mitigated score of some kind. But the 17 just has the potential to blow up into a snowman if you can't get in bounds. And this is a great shot from Megan into the ideal landing zone.
Yep. Lindsey, a little cut off, but it looks like she's making the hyzer work.
Yeah, gets into there. Look, maybe just inside circle, around circle's edge, I would say. Looks like Colleen's going to risk it over the road here with the Anheuser.
Oh.
And is not going to trickle inbounds. That is going to stay OB for Colleen. Take another look at this one. Unfortunate break. Leaving it over the road, gave it good angle, but the nose stays down off the kick.
Catches that edge of the turf.
And that's a little surprising. You might almost expect that nose to tip up just for a second off of that kind of weird ground or off the road, but stays down and stays OB. But luckily does clearly hit dirt.
Yes.
So she will progress forward. I mean, sometimes people might throw that shot and we don't see anything, and
right.
There's a question of whether it came back in bounds or not.
Kylie with her approach. Nicely done. See that sidewalk on the left side. It's a nervy approach with getting narrower and narrower. Lindsey just outside circle, putting it under the basket.
Just outside circle for Colleen. Tickles the chains, but unable to stay in. Now Kylie. Just off the top, but doesn't go anywhere. Stays by the basket. We're going to have a few tap-ins here now from our card Megan with the birdie.
Well played to get the birdie.
Gets herself in the proper position. Lindsey felt very close from having a much better back nine. Just had a couple grip locks that kind of exploded into a few extra strokes there in that middle section. Couldn't, she had a couple good putts too or putting opportunities that didn't quite go her way. She finishes the round at +2. Kylie at 2 under. Colleen at 1 under. Megan at 3 under. And if we look at the leaderboard, that normally would be good enough to lead, but someone named Jessica shot super hot.
Yeah, -7's incredible.
Just absolutely shreds the round 1 at 7 down. Gives herself a 4-stroke lead. So we're going to see if our competitors can, chase that down, if Jessica can repeat. If you haven't already, consider liking and subscribing. Join our Patreon as an easy way to support us financially in the future to go to more events. Ceci, I'm looking forward to seeing round 2.
Yeah, round 2's going to be good.